So the Fujifilm x100vi. If you checked out one of my recent videos, you'll know that I just got my hands on the Fujifilm x100vi. Reason being is I got a deal that was just way too good to pass up. The situation was just perfect. I ended up getting the camera like $1,000 less for what it's going for. And I would showcase it right now for the point of today's video, but I'm actually filming on it with my second camera setup over here. So yeah, right now this camera is the Fujifilm x100vi. And I wanted to include this in today's video talking about the x100vi or x106, whatever you want to consider it, because I think the potential for this camera just got unlocked with this upgrade, but it's not going to be for everybody. So one of the things that I was surprised about when I picked up the x100vi is I had no idea that it also did good video. I was completely sold on the aspect of photos and recipes in this compact point and shoot-esque type camera. And then lo and behold, I also find out it does video too. Now I've heard quite the debate so far. Some people saying that it's stupid to get an x100vi right now because of the new camera, which obviously if you're overpaying, of course. But on the other side, I've heard that it's stupid to get the new one because there's not too many differences. I noted down a few things today. The major differences are that the new one's gonna be coming with a 40.2 megapixel ASP sensor, while the previous one has a 26 megapixel. It's gonna be a little heavier, coming in at 521 grams versus 478 grams. And with the size of these cameras, like that's a minuscule difference in comparison to the big, bulky cameras that we've been carrying around for the last few years. On top of that, the big things are it comes with a sensor shift image stabilization that did not come on the x100vi whatsoever. And the new x106 has up to 6K recording, 4K, 60p, and it also got a bitrate speed from 200 megabytes per second to 700. And then it's got some other things like a very minimal ISO change, USB 3.2 versus 3.1. The record time is gonna be unlimited versus it being capped like it is right now. Here in a second, I'll have to reset this. But both are still gonna be weather sealed, both having a 35mm f2 prime lens, both having a 3-inch tilting screen. And then the new one does have a very slight battery upgrade from 420 shots to 450. I mean, big difference, am I right? Now, a couple things before we get into why I feel like this new version is gonna be so big and it will continue to be one of the most popular cameras of the year. One, do I think that this is a Leica killer? I don't know. I never really personally had too much interest outside of the potential SEO on videos, like being able to utilize Leica in a video. Outside of that, I never really had any personal interest to like genuinely want that. And I totally get why other people do, but for me, when some friends ask, like, do you think this thing is gonna replace a Leica? I don't think it's meant to replace things. I think it's just meant to be a better tool for creators that have a different requirement. And so I don't really have opinion if it's gonna kill Leica. I think that's fucking pointless to even stress about and worry about because who gives a shit, right? Leicas, Fujifilm, Sony's, all are good for different people with different requests and requirements. And like, it's just so subjective. It's just a pointless argument that we like to do in this day and age. Every brand will be fine. Sony never killed Canon, and Canon and Sony never killed Nikon. Like, they're all still here to this day doing different shit. And to the point, I don't even think this is gonna be a Fujifilm x100vi killer. Like, the amount of people in the previous video that's like, haha, you just lost so much money on your Fujifilm. If you actually look at it on paper, one versus the other, they're really good fucking like, this camera is still gonna be amazing for the next few years, regardless of the new upgrade. So what we're most likely gonna see is all these new cameras are gonna get sold out, thus hiking up the prices, thus more people wanting to find the cheaper, older version, which is still gonna be oversold and overpriced. So I don't think the x100vi is just irrelevant, nobody's gonna want it, it's not gonna be a popular camera. I think it's just gonna be popular for people that don't feel the need or want to get the new one. Okay, I had to stop this for a second because it was running at a max record time. And then I also thought maybe it was getting a little hot. So instead of trying to record more and then not knowing if it was just gonna shit the bed on me, I was like, we'll just pop it off the stand. I kind of made my point at the start of the video, showing the video quality, but the process of needing to stop the recording because I ran out of time is why I'm so excited for the new one. I honestly haven't been this excited for a camera launch since the Sony a7S III. Again, like I was saying earlier, I bought this camera 100% because I'm a bored creator. This is my full-time job, and I wanted that ability to love taking photos again. And this supplied that. And then seeing the video capabilities on top of that was this crazy added bonus. And this thing that I started to realize that this could literally be a perfect run and gun extra shooter for so many content creators in this space. Like, think about this for a second. If this camera can produce quality that could be matched with something like a Sony FX3, and as a content creator, I wanna have variety, I wanna have options, I wanna be able to take good photos and good video, I can invest into one main camera here, this big FX3 rig, and then essentially just get this compact point and shoot camera that will allow to have additional shooting, to also be able to create more content. And if you haven't figured it out by now, everything that I talk about is in relation to what I do, being a content creator. So I know this doesn't really relate with a filmmaker who needs the highest end gear. I know this doesn't translate well to the average person starting off who doesn't want to spend $1,500 on a second shooter. But what I do know is this thing is compact. It's way less intimidating to be out and about. I mean, just imagine me coming up and taking a photo right now of you with this little guy when we're out in public, hanging out. Like, it's just less daunting. It's less disrupting. Just throw it in my pocket when we're not doing anything and pull it out and flip it up and flip the screen up and maybe get some extra footage of me being out and about. I just personally think this is the future. And I'm not talking the Fujifilm x100vi. I'm talking about the idea of being able to escape big and large and clunky and bulky. I mean, we've seen it over the last couple of years just with these cameras alone. The Sony ZV-E1 coming out with an A7S III sensor in a body that's like half the size. Lenses are being more compact. Even the FX3 in itself is the smallest version of a cinema camera, if I understand correctly. And like, this whole fucking age of like, it just has to be big. You just have to shoot in flat. You just have to do everything the hardest, craziest route to like flex this idea that you do so much shit for a result. It's just so stupid. People are entertained by so much nowadays. Half my viral videos from the last couple of years were recorded on an iPhone. Nobody really fucking cares more than the artist and creative itself. It's why the creative side always gets so muddy, because people that spend so much extra money having these crazy things, go out of their way to do the craziest shit for the shots, they get so fucking envious when somebody just comes along and creates some genuine shit and it does well. And that's not to knock the art, right? Like, I love filmmaking, I love photography, I love videography, I love seeing other people's work. I'm truly inspired by a lot of people that really go above and beyond. But that's not me. I don't have to worry about that. I'm not making stuff for other people besides maybe some brands here and there. But again, to the core, most brands invest into me now, not on the idea of producing good content for them, to have stock footage for them, but more or less to utilize my brand and my content to push their product. It's like we, the creators, are dictating the power now. It's a super exciting time to be live. And I think the new Fujifilm x100vi mixed with the 6K and extra video benefits, the stabilization, is gonna start making the push into seeing what creators are capable to do with minimal items. Anyways, those are my thoughts. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you think. Is the new camera an unnecessary upgrade? Is it about time that this happened? Would you rather pick up a cheaper x100v or just go ahead and upgrade to the x100vi? That's all I got for you guys today. I'm out. Peace. Deuces.